process itself had great benefit. First, we have the managers involved. We're closing the gap between the digitalians and the statures. Our managing director like to call us directors, the statures. You guys have been here for a long time. You're doing the same mistakes again and again. So whenever there's a strategic meeting, he brings somebody from the juniors to question what we're doing. And they feel safe going in. You know, they're told up front that whatever you say will only stay here and they will have to kill you after that. And so we got the middle managers engaged because they are part of this. They know that the engagement of the younger staff is their responsibility and is a reflection of their behavior. So we got the middle managers themselves engaged. The management training, the meetings themselves were a sort of a training. When you talk about the last 7 days I've not received the praise, you're actually telling the manager, pay attention to this. These guys are looking for this. Approved new policies by the managing director, reflected the opinion of the digitalians, and it showed that the company cares. We've done this, we've done the survey, we have the report, we're sitting with you guys. The whole shuffle inside the company made the people aware that the management is paying attention to what they think. So we asked them, and this is some of the results that we got. These are the 12 questions. Now we compared ourselves with the global figures. This is the global graph. The dotted line is the global graph. And this is our graph. On average, we were above the global average, but as a company who's not very big, our diversity is not huge. We work in the Middle East. Most of us are from around the region, either Middle East or Far East. So we thought we should be here. We should have a graph very close to 5. Why are we dropping? And we went deeper to analyze the regional performance. And the sample that I'm showing here is from the Eastern Zone. And the interesting part here was that their graph, the regional graph, is the yellow one, and they were above average in all questions except one. One question that said, at work, my opinion seems to count. This is the only question where they're below average. And we went to the manager and told him, why? You guys did excellent in all 12 questions. Why this one you were below average? You know what he said? He said, I have no idea. Every day in the morning meeting, it's a small office, there are about 55 people. And they said, every day in the morning meeting, I asked them, does anybody have a valid point to make? And I don't know why they think it's not important. It's just the word valid. You can imagine one word could drop the highest average performing region in this place. So that's the power of one word. We repeated the survey again online, where online they can answer their own questions safely, but without the interview. So we got the purple graph as a year later. Now, if you get a chance to look at the 12 questions, actually 12 questions are divided into 4 different segments. Basic requirements, which job description material, critical support, belonging, and career growth. Now, we started to implement this on 2 levels. So, we went into the corporate level, we engaged the managers into the process, we trained the managers to address the 12 questions of engagement. We created a lower house, a group from the juniors, headed by one of the middle managers. So they meet, the middle manager is just there to facilitate, and they come up with their own ideas to report up to the higher level management. And created an implementation committee for engagement, ICE, implementation committee for engagement, to cool things down. And at the junior levels, now this might be a surprise to a lot of you, but we began applying long weekends. In Saudi, we have half day Thursday and Friday off. But we didn't have a long Thursday, Friday, 2 days off. Now we have 2 days off. Twice a week, twice a month only. So we have introduced the long weekends, introduced casual Thursdays. So if you're coming to the office on Thursdays, casual Thursday. Notebooks and software Now, one of the 12 questions was, do I have the material and equipment to do my job right? And we thought they meant samples, catalogs. They gave us a very poor score because they didn't have internet access. They didn't have licensed Outlook and Microsoft Office packages. Our IT people want to keep it controlled. They don't like Microsoft, so they want to provide other software. No, we want Outlook, we want Microsoft. And now we have internet access open. All their emails are open except social networking, so except Facebook. So they have free access to the internet except Facebook. Interview attended by a young interviewer with the same, from day one, we thought that we should get the people up engaged. So even in the interview, we take one of the staff, one of the junior staff, not very junior staff, but just promoted manager, from the same nationality to interview the people. Because he's aware of the culture. The guys don't feel, oh, I want to be like him. No thanks. So they see somebody that they can relate to, even from the interview. And the orientation phase, somebody called it buddy. Muhammad yesterday called him a buddy. From the orientation phase, we assign somebody who's a single point of contact. He will take him through the orientation phase. And initial trainings are the trainings are modernized as possible, especially the initial ones. And I'll just show you a sample of how we modernize our trainings. This is a training about leadership.
Am I even talking to you? You're not the queen. You don't smell like the queen.
She's ready to take over from me, Hopper.
Oh, I see. Under new management. So it's your fault.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't.
First rule of leadership. Everything is your fault.
I think that's modern enough. Now we have another one that plays around with the matrix and teach them how to think outside the box, but I thought that would be too much for you guys. So our findings. The generation lifetime is now shorter. It's 5 to 6 years only, so we have to be careful to that. Senior managers, we call them the watchdogs, must realize the drivers of the new generation, of the new Facebook generation. Don't kill the watchdogs. They provide stability, guidance, and system protection. And I was happy when Sheila said that they're bringing back some of the people that have retired. Involve the middle managers. They are in the gap. They are better people to understand what the younger generation want. And they are in day-to-day contact with the employees. Speak digitalian. You have to understand their jargon. You have to understand their language. You have to understand what they want. You have to speak their language. Don't expect them to understand your terminology. And care authentically and let them know that you care about them. So we asked them what is expected from us. What do they want? And we implemented some of the things that we thought are feasible. No Facebook. But is that enough? Since 5 years or 6 years, these people were changed, the requirements were changed, so we have to reassess periodically. So here it goes, ask, implement, reassess, and that forms AIR, and I don't think we can live without it. Thank you very much. Thank you.